problem is we're very disappointed that the cuts are not there that even the president himself promised. And so that's really what we're going to go after if we go after anything.
If they open this up on the floor and they're starting to amend, then, you know, we'll be swearing in the new Congress while they're still acting out that drama.
The House must postpone this vote until Congress and the American people have time to study and evaluate this extraordinarily complex legislation.
This is all about time, and it's about time that we brought this to the floor.
It's possible that this is a prelude to a challenge Thursday to Boehner's leadership by Eric Cantor. I think that would be quite naked to do it at this late hour as a result of this split over the vote. Look, there are a lot of conservatives in the caucus, Republican caucus in the House, who hate the bill, and for good reason. I mean, this is a complete surrender on everything. The ratio of tax cuts, of tax hikes to spending cuts is a 40-to-1 rather than 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 or 1-to-3. So, I mean, it's a complete rout by the Democrats. So it's understandable. I think what's likely to happen is that the leadership is going to look to get the 218 that it could secure to send the bill back to the Senate with equal numbers of spending cuts. If they don't get it, I think what Boehner will do is have an open vote, as you say, unwhipped. Republicans will vote as they wish. There'll probably be enough with all of the Democrats to pass this. I'd only add one thing. If the Republicans vote it down, they have to do at the same time. They have to announce H.R. 1 to be introduced Thursday, first bill of the new Congress, which I would say should be an exact replica of the first item on the bill today, i.e., you pass the Obama cuts. It will be pure tax cut because we went over the cliff, $450,000 as the limit, and you do it on income tax, on dividends, and capital gains. So what you're saying to the markets in the world is we're going to introduce those cuts Thursday, a clean bill, none of the other stuff in it, like the wind power credits and all this other stimulus junk. And that would be what the Democrats are demanding. Give it to them on Monday, it'll be a pure tax. On Thursday, it'll be a pure tax cut. If the president is behind it and the Democratic-controlled Senate is behind it, I mean, there'll be maybe a few left-wing Democrats who will oppose it, but you've got the minority leader in the House supporting it, the whole leadership supporting it strongly. I can't see the Democrats losing more than a dozen of their caucus on the vote, so this will get a huge number. It won't need a lot of Republicans to pass.
It is a new year, and it's, of course, time to get all those resolutions in full gear. 2013 is here. We're back with the panel, and we wanted to ask them for resolutions for, well, maybe both parties here in Washington for the year of 2013.
For House Republicans, when you go into negotiations with Obama, you'll be asked to give up your sword and your shirt. When you leave the room, just make sure you still have your trousers. Looking at the bill that we got out of the Senate, they were trouserless. So this has not been a good negotiating session. For Obama, I think every morning he needs to wake up and to repeat the following: pride goeth before the fall. Yes, you won the election. You know it, the Republicans know it, and you're entitled to certain things. But if you repeat what you did on Monday, which was a victory lap in the cusp of the conclusion of negotiations, where you rub the Republicans' nose in the fact that you forced them into raising rates, and then you say you think you can get spending afterwards, you're not going to get any spending cuts afterwards. I think he's going slightly over his own cliff. And what he needs to remember is one day he's going to need the Republicans for a crisis. It could be a run on the dollar, it could be a crisis in foreign affairs, and he's got to make sure that he hasn't so humiliated and alienated them that they will not stand with him. He's the president of the country. He has to remember that, not just of American liberals or of American Democrats.
Do you think there's regret that Speaker Boehner didn't take whatever the big deal offer was from President Obama and the White House in this situation, that he instead, you know, went to the Plan B scenario and kind of went his own way?
No, I don't. I think for the Republicans, that was an equally losing proposition. It would have pretended to settle the bargain on very bad terms. Best to give away what you have to give away today, and then to fight on grounds where Republicans are stronger, the debt ceiling and on the continuing resolution, which will be coming up in a couple of months.
Agree?
Well, Charles, that's interesting. I thought Charles thought that this bill was a disaster and they shouldn't. You think they should move this and go on to the debt ceiling fight?
Look, I think at the last minute they'll probably approve it. What I would do would be, as I said earlier, kill it, but at the same time announce H.R. 1 for Thursday afternoon and tell the nation and the markets that the tax cuts will be there by 3 o'clock Thursday afternoon.
This has been a Sunfish production.